This is Season 7 of the Team Roping Journal's podcast, The Score, the show that started it all in the whole podcasting game in team roping and rodeo. At 3 million downloads and counting, this is where team ropers talk, from our weekly short score episodes to the longer sit-down conversations that we get to have that dive deep into the personalities, producers, and horses that inspire the sport. This is where team ropers get their must-know information. Hey everyone, this is Chelsea Schaefer. Welcome to The Score. I'm sorry I'm a little late. We have all been traveling. We've been on the road. I hope you have seen all of the cool footage that we've been putting on our TikToks and our Instagrams and Facebook from the rope horse futurities, from the rodeos. Shout out to our team. They have been absolutely phenomenal. A little bit of everywhere. So I am bringing you this week's episode. It is a continuation of our series on stepping away from rodeo with JoJo LeMond. This one is the whole reason this subject got started was somebody asked me why I thought JoJo stepped away at the top of his game when he had some great horses, when he was winning, and I wanted to ask JoJo myself. So that's why we have the article in the August issue that is all about retiring from rodeo, or stepping away from rodeo, or slowing down rodeo. You know, nobody ever actually retires. So this is an episode with JoJo to give us an update on where he is in his career, where he was when he stopped rodeoing full time, and what his family means to him. It's a really interesting episode. JoJo gets very honest, and I am grateful that he was willing to be so honest with me. Before we get into this episode, I'm going to let you know it is brought to you by our partners at Gold Buckle Horse Sales. And I have a special guest helping me read the commercial. You can hear it at the commercial break in the middle of the episode, but my daughter Elise is going to start joining me every now and then to help us record commercials. So if you listen and you hear the voice of a 7-year-old, that's my kid. I told you, I'm doing a story on making the decision to step away from pro rodeo. It actually came from somebody mentioning your name the other day because they were like, man, he still heads better than anybody else in the PRCA. Like, that guy, why would that guy ever quit? And I was like, I don't know. So that's why I wanted to talk to you. What year did you decide to slow down, JoJo?
2010.
Well, but you decided to slow down in 2010, but then you still made it quite a few. How many times did you make it? Just once or twice after that?
Oh, one time. I went back in 15. I didn't actually make it.
You went with Junior.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So give me the rundown on the decision. Like, you roped so good, you were at the top of your game, and then you decided to slow down. What happened?
Well, my kids were getting to an age where I felt like that they needed the same opportunity that I had.
Mm-hmm.
If, I wanted to be able to teach the boys all that I could and be there for my wife. I didn't feel like it was fair to my wife working a job and me off, running around,
mm-hmm.
kind of playing. So I thought that it was just time to come home. And my dad, he wasn't in the greatest health and was getting older, and I just wanted to be around for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really loved rodeoing. I love to compete and I love to rope, but I don't like the traveling and the downtime
mm-hmm.
of rodeoing. For me, I feel like, so what I do is I love to rope. I love to ride horses. Now I just train cutting horses full time, but I love to ride horses, and I love to go check my cows and, feed my cows in my little yard there and do all the cowboy things. And when you're rodeoing, it's not really a cowboy thing. It's kind of, it's about as far away as you can get from it. You're either locked in a living quarters trailer or a pickup. And
mm-hmm.
you get to play cowboy, just a few minutes every night. I wanted to do it all day, every day.
What was making you stay? I guess, what was making you keep rodeoing? Like, what did you love about it? Just the competition side of it, or was it a hard decision, I guess? Were you real torn up when you decided to slow down?
Yeah, I dealt with depression and anxiety and everything else in there. I quit because I'd never known anything else besides roping to make a living. That's how I made a living for my family. from my dad and everybody. That's where our living come from the time I was 11 years old. So it was very hard to be willing to step away from it and go somewhere else to do something. But I just felt, I don't really know. I had the best horse that I'd ever had. Old Goose, the gray horse, whenever I quit. Like that horse, it made it easy to win on him. And, I don't think it was hard for me to leave rodeo necessarily, but it was hard for me to accept the fact that I was going home with no job or nothing, you know. And I lucked out and won enough in 2015 at the Steer Open Finals and at the finals when Jake got hurt. That it kind of floated the way a little bit there, and I lucked out and got a little ranch leased and just kind of started a new adventure.
How long did it take you from the time you quit to get comfortable with, like, financially and just, like, comfortable where you weren't stressing about money or stressing about, because, you know, when you were rodeoing, you just had to win and then you were going to get money again, you know, or, I mean, that makes it sound easy, but it isn't. But yeah, how long before you settled in, I guess, to the new normal?
It was probably 4 or 5 years.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was 2. So I started in 2020. Really, honestly, 2021 probably was the first time that I got clients in the cutting horse business. You know, I had 5 or 6, 10 ranch colts I was riding for people, and I was just barely making payments on stuff, you know. And then once I kind of got to where I could train a cutting horse and started winning a little bit, then people started sending me horses. Now we've got, you know, right at 80 horses in training.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
They're everywhere.
That's awesome, JoJo. Do you miss anything? Is there any, or do you have any regrets or anything that's still on your bucket list that you'd like to try to go back out and win something?
I mean, yeah, I missed the opportunity a couple times to win a gold buckle, and that kind of burns my ass in a way, because, and it wasn't just the last opportunities that I had. It was all throughout the year. I'd go home because I got homesick, or I would go to 35 rodeos instead of 75, you know, or get broke and didn't have the money to go. So I chose to go home and wait until I could get a little more money or go to some closer rodeos to get my money built back up to where I could go again. You know, it just, the fun. So like my dad, he never had anything, and it was just hard trying to rodeo with nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And the stress of that. I know that there was times when my wife would do without at home so where I could have fuel to get to the next rodeo, and that's not fair at all to her. So, yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have won the timed event, and I would have liked to have got a gold buckle. But as far as any regrets, no, I don't feel like I have any regrets. I feel like I'd do it all over just the way that I done it. I had fun, and
yeah,
I don't know. I guess live by the sword, die by the sword kind of deal. But and then the other thing, I didn't like the person that was making me while I was rodeoing, you know, and being away from my family. My dad was a very good man. He was a very hard man, but he was a good man, and he, you know, he showed me how to love, and I just felt like I was being drug away from. I mean, this is really deep, and but I feel like I was getting drug away from my beliefs as far as my religion, and I was, you know, making decisions that I shouldn't make, you know. Whether it was partying or having to sell things that, you know, you never can tell, whatever it is. But I just wasn't in love with the person that it made me, and I don't know. I felt like almost like a selfish prick in a way. I out doing that, and my family was home working, so
Yeah.
that was kind of it for me. I mean, didn't take much more thinking after that.
This week's episode is brought to you by Gold Buckle Horse Sales.
Gold Buckle Horse Sale has come up with a process to take the guesswork out of finding the right horse and allowing both buyer and seller to find the perfect match with confidence. Each horse consigned through Gold Buckle Horse Sales is professionally photographed, videoed, and demoed by a professional Gold Buckle pro.
Visit www.goldbucklehorsesale.com.
Again, that is www.goldbucklehorsesale.com. Thanks, Elise. What would you, your boys are rodeoing, or, you know, are very talented. Are they going to rodeo? Is that something that you're going to support with them?
I support anything they do besides drug and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they want to go fish, we go fish, or if they want to ride cutting horses, we go ride cutting horses. My oldest boy is extremely talented with a horse, and he loves the rein cow horse and the cutting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to go to college at OC and rope with Caden Tinsley, his buddy.
That's awesome.
And, you know, so right now he says that he's not going to go rodeo. I think that if I told him that I would go and go with him, that he would go, but I'm just not going to do that and take away from the other ones.
Yeah.
My little one. My youngest one says that he's not going to do anything but rodeo. That's all he wants to do. He don't like training. He don't like. He enjoys the cow stuff. Like, he kind of takes care of the little feed yard there.
Yeah.
At the house. You know, he really likes doing that. He's always sorting or doctoring or doing something. He enjoys that. So I see him rodeoing for a while and then probably coming home and either trying to find him a ranch to lease or something, or running that little yard.
So do you think you would go with, I mean, are you going to rule out going with your boys, or like you'd buy your card again and go with one of the boys?
I'm not going to rule it out. I think that if they really come and really, wanted to do it, then I would probably go a little bit. Maybe in 4 or 5 years, whenever the youngest one's old enough to go and I don't have any more responsibility as far as other kids at home, I might. I don't. I think I'm right on the edge of breaking through the ice and the cutting deal to doing really good in it, and I'd hate to step away from it now after working 5 years to build a business, you know.
Sure. Do you get nervous cutting? Like, I mean, you were a man of steel team roping.
Yes, I do. It's like completely different person.
Really?
I train a really good horse in the cutting. I've got some horses that have been very successful with other guys on them, and keep it short and sweet, but some very big money earning horses that have come from me. And I've got, like, I feel like I can train a really good horse, and my showing is really bad. I just make little stupid mistakes and learning how to slow down enough, and it's completely different. It's unreal. But I've got some good clients this year, and we've got 14 head of 3-year-olds that we're going to go small futurity and go to the big futurity. So we're going to go show a whole lot. And I think that, you just got to learn how to win in that, just like you do the rodeo. I mean, there's learning how to do it, and then there's learning how to win doing it. So
I love it. I'm so glad that somebody mentioned that the other day, and I called you because these interviews are so fun. I've done like 3 of them now, and they're just my favorites that I've done in a really long time. I'm so happy for you that all of this is going so well. I knew you were riding cutting horses, but I didn't realize how many you had and how all in you were.
Yeah, it's from daylight till dark every day, and the whole family's out there doing it. And we've got 3 full-time employees. It's turned into a business. It started out as a little dream, and I'd done it whenever I was a kid, like 18. I rode some 2-year-old colts for a guy and fell in love with it then, and I always thought that I would do it. And You know, when I was going through all the hard times of figuring out what I was going to do, I mean, just worked out, and I bought a colt off Clay Tierney, and got him trained up, went to the futurity, and showed him, and I think I marked a 208. And everybody just about laughed at me, and I went home and went to working on another one, and just kept going. So, and this year will be my first year. I'm going to go to the Snaffle Bit Futurity and show at the Snaffle Bit. So,
what kind of horse are you showing at the Snaffle Bit? What's your Snaffle Bit horse?
I got a hashtag 3-year-old stud. He's a hashtag out of full sister to Zach 34 or whatever they call him.
The black, Zach 34. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a black stud. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out that Newt and Lundy. They I gotta go help them out of the herd and everything else, and I think that it's really neat and to watch. So I'm gonna try to train this one up. Cool. See how it goes.
I love it. I love it, JoJo. Thank you so much. Good luck in Lincoln.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Of course.
Hopefully we'll see you somewhere.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and thanks Gold Buckle Horse Sales.
Thanks for sticking around with us, guys. We always appreciate y'all listening, and we will talk at you again in a couple weeks.